Hi friends, and welcome to Brick House Bones episode 34. Today is an extra special episode, so I do hope you'll stay with me for the whole thing. I have an announcement that I mentioned last week, for those of you that tuned in to hear it, I'm going to get to that right in a moment. So today's exercises is again our evidence-based exercises, and this is a really special group of 4 exercises. I like these a lot. They do a lot of back strength, so we know back strengthening helps prevent fractures in the spine. So this is a great routine to go with for that. We will be doing some shoulder V raises with weights. You'll need a small weight, 1 to 3 pounds, 5 at the most if you feel really, really strong and confident in your shoulders. We're also going to be doing a flowing warrior 3 or full extension, a balance exercise. It's a dynamic balance exercise, but it also gets a lot of back body strength. We're going to do some gorilla rows. Love gorilla rows. I'm using my 10-pound kettlebells for that. You can use dumbbells. That's just fine. If you've never done them, start very light. Don't start heavy. Understand the movement first before you start to add load. I will have a variation for you that makes it easier for anyone that has a little difficulty with that. And we're going to do some box jump overs, like not jumping all the way over, but this is a great dynamic exercise to work on some speed and agility and power. This is a 4-inch step. That's where I think people should start if they haven't done these before. So thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Lisa, physical therapist and osteoporosis exercise specialist. And this is how we do evidence-based exercise to help protect our bones and prevent fractures. I started Brick House Bones 34 weeks ago with the idea just to share different types of exercises and to teach people the large variety of what's available to incorporate in your exercise program. But one of the flaws of what I've done along the way is it's not really clear how to proceed and what path to follow. It just has a lot of options for you. So I have a plan to modify Brick House Bones weeklies into the Brick House Bones method and create 6, maybe 8 very targeted videos that are complete exercise routines where you and I are working out together, where I tell you specifically how to begin, what to do, and when to move ahead. If this is something that would be helpful and supportive to you in your journey, please leave me a yes down below. You don't have to leave anything more than that, but I need to know there's enough people that want this for me to go ahead and build it for you. And yes, of course, it will be free on YouTube. All right, so if you want a 6 to 8 week series of beginner, progressing to somewhat advanced total exercises that are the Brick House Bones method, start here, progress to here to give you the tools to succeed, write a yes down below. Thank you. All right, now let's move on with today's workout. Starting with our smaller, lighter weights, feet hip width apart. Let's roll those shoulders back so that we have a good posture position. We're going to meet the weights together. Notice my arms are pretty straight. Arms together and the bottoms of the weights are together. This is the bottom of your V. This is a shoulder V exercise. This is the top of your V. Now, what I don't want to see is I don't want there to be any pain or flexion when you're holding your arms out. And as your arms come up, no arching backwards. There should be no movement of your shoulders forward and backwards, only movement of your arms. So you need to stabilize through the middle body, hold that trunk position tight as we do 10 V raises with a full reach and back down. Strengthening these shoulders and the upper back. 2, 3, squeeze that belly button in. 4, 5, notice we're not in a rush. 6, eyes straight ahead. 7, good work you guys. 8, V for victory. 9, and 10. Excellent. Good job. So the key there, we're not getting any rounding or any arching as we're moving. It's all coming in the shoulders, and this is why this should be a lightweight. You can start with soup cans or water bottles if that's a really new exercise for you. It doesn't have to be super heavy. Okay, so I'm going to come over to the wall next. We're doing our balance exercise. This is a dynamic or a flowing warrior 3 pose from yoga, but it's basically a back body extension and balance exercise. The wall is for any of us that can't balance well doing it. So starting on one foot, reach one leg back and the arms forward. So this is preventing me from falling forward. So you can just touch there, get that full extension in the back body, and then come back to standing. If you feel like you want to work on it without the wall, then just come a tiny bit away and come back. Your goal should be to shoot for 5 to 10 of these per side. Notice we're really taking our time, pausing out here in that full extension position, getting into that almost Superman extension. Works a lot of the back. So helpful. Let's switch legs and do a few repetitions on this side. So reaching back. Use the wall or the counter if you need it as you gain strength and stability here. Now obviously this will feel different barefoot than it will with shoes on. It's good to try it both. Some people say you should only train barefoot, and I say great. If we only walk around barefoot, then we've trained appropriately for what we need. But if we walk around with shoes on, we also need to train with shoes on. So train for what we need and what we do. Barefoot walking, we all do that sometimes. Walking with shoes, we all do that sometimes too. Okay, so we had our posture exercise, our balance exercise. Now we're going on to our strength exercise, and these are gorilla rows. And so I'll be using the kettlebells for this. You can use dumbbells too, that's just fine. Anything you see me here using, I do list it and show it all in my Amazon affiliate store. So if you're wondering where do I find the link on this same material, it's all in there. So the gorilla rows are going to be a hip hinge, arms down, long spine, heart up, chin tucked. Hip hinge, long spine, heart up, chin tucked, arms are straight down. So this is the position that you should see in your hips and your back. You will have the weights in your hands and will alternate rowing one arm and then the other arm. If you don't do that position well, if your back doesn't like it, or you just don't quite have the strength for it yet, hip hinge with one arm on the chair and do one arm at a time. You can do this gorilla row with one arm on the chair, switch hands, and do the other side. So there's an alternative for any of you that can't do that position or hold it without discomfort. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do 10 of our gorilla rows. Feet just slightly wider than hips, hinging back, long spine, chin tucked, arms are right in front of my knees. Squeeze. There is a tiny bit of rotation with this, that's okay. 3, 4, 5. You may feel a little tension building in the hips, the hamstrings, or the low back. Those areas are working along the shoulder blade and the upper arm. As you know, because I'm talking, I've already lost track. Let's do one more on each side. Excellent. Good job. All right. Awesome. So that was our strength component of today's Brick House Bones. And now we're moving on to our power and impact component. So I have this 4-inch step. That is a great place to start if you're new to impact. If you have a taller box and you've been doing more power and impact, great. Use your taller box. That's just fine. And really, all of these are proceed with caution at what your body is ready for on any given day. So I have 1 foot on the box, 1 foot on the floor. In slow motion, this is a push, switch, other foot down. Push, bring the other foot up, other foot down. Push, switch, and down. As we move a little faster, tap, return, tap, return. Okay, so you have to do the speed that works for you. The goal is that you begin to work as quickly as you can, and then if you can add a jump to that. So push, switch in the air. Switch, 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 switch. Now we're getting more power. The push off you're getting off the box is increased ground reaction forces. These are the forces that compress your bones and tell them to be stronger. So push, going for 20 if you can, or 30 seconds if you're doing it for time. And 20 is 1, 2. So you count the taps on each side. See if you can't gradually build up your speed, your agility, your coordination, and your power using a 4-inch box to get you to have some increased ability to move quickly. That's my 4 exercises for today. Don't forget to leave me a comment below. Do you want the Brick House Bones Methods videos that show you exactly how to do it? If you want those, leave me a yes. If I have enough people, I will build it. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.